may question pala kanina on JLPT. Nag-take ba kayo ng JLPT? Ano ang, ayan, at ano ang level ninyo? Hindi, siguro yung sa amin, no, JLPT was not really required. So we weren't pressured to take the JLPT. Actually, initially, there was resistance to take the highest level of JLPT because we know that it only measures one aspect of Japanese. It doesn't really measure a variety of the Japanese language. Like, ano ba? Sabi sa akin nung when I was in the language, yung teacher training, we would talk to the receptionist at the training center. Mm-hmm. Hindi ako pumasa nung level 1 that time. Tapos sabi niya, hindi lumalabas yung mga nasa manga. Hindi lumalabas yung mga binabasa mo sa sa JLPT. So the articles, the materials that I was exposed to are not academic. So they don't come out in JLPT exams. No, so hindi it's a reality that many of us need those standardized exams for certain things like diba, jobs or promotion. You need them to be able to teach, you need them to be able to go to Japan to work and so on. But we have to remember also that having that certification doesn't guarantee that we actually know the language. Yung nabanggit kanina ni Weng, no? Napapasa niya yung exams pero hindi siya makapagsalita. Or napapasa niya yung exams pero hindi pa rin siya confident dun sa Japanese. So, kailangan din, we have to realize also that what we learn in class is just a part of Japanese. The exams only test a part of Japanese. You know? So it's important to try also to be more holistic in language learning. Yung nabanggit ni Weng, no, it's not everything is not inside the classroom. Yung vocabulary needed for the classroom are not the vocabulary you need when you go to the supermarket. Diba? Yung kanji. Yung mirin when Weng used mirin as cooking oil, umapoy yung niluluto niya. So mirin sa Japanese cooking wine. Cooking wine ba siya? Hindi. Sweet wine used for cooking. So akala ni Weng,
akala ko po nagpapatamis ng niluluto ang oil ng Japan.
Lumiyab yung frying pan niya. So that's a very dangerous situation, di ba? Kaya, yun nga, try to be more holistic. Yung sinasabi ko sa estudyante, if you're into manga or if you're into drama, try to expose yourself to different genres also. So, mag-medical drama ka rin, mag-detective drama ka rin, mag-business, politics, renai, syempre, or yung mga action.
Meron din po palang dapat pag-ingatan doon kasi minsan nakakatuwa din yung mga students na nagdedalgosaru sa classroom. So hindi lahat ng nababasa parang ginagamit sa totoong buhay.
Kailangan i-contextualize din yung manga. If you're reading period manga like Samurai X, yung Rurouni Kenshin, you cannot speak like Rurouni Kenshin in everyday life. No, you cannot speak like a samurai in everyday life. So dapat may realization din na what you hear in anime or in drama may not necessarily be appropriate in everyday situations. So lalo na sa Japanese kasi yung relationship between people is there are rules, no? Yeah, there are rules, there are social norms in terms of the relationship between people, like if you're older or younger, if you're from a higher position or lower position, or yung uchisoto nga na in group mo ba siya or out group. So maraming ganung levels. No? Meron bang qualifications or exams needed for teaching? depends on the institution, I think.
Yes.
No?
When I started teaching, zero. No training at all. So I was trained on the job. That's why I was mentored. And if I remember, something to do with JLPT, yung teacher ko na nagme-mentor sa akin, kinukulit niya ako to take the JLPT N1 kasi daw yun yung starting block ko to teaching. So parang sort of forced to take the JLPT. But I didn't pass my N1 in the first go, ha? Several then na tries. Several tries before I made it. And what helped me was exposure talaga eh. Newspaper, magazines, all those stuff. So I guess kasi in a newspaper, you are exposed to different genre. So hindi necessarily classroom.
Yeah. So for those of you learning formally, learn or also outside the class. Yung mas magandang may combination. No? Lalo na kung yung grammar pattern na lumalabas, let's say sa classroom, nakikita mo outside. Mas nakikita mo na, ganito pala yung usage niya. Because even if you look for the meaning in a JLPT reviewer or a dictionary, iba yung nuance then nung translation versus the actual use. Yung qualifications for teaching, it depends on the institution. Ngayon kasi kilala na yung JLPT, so I think most institutions would look for at least N3.
Even lower.
N4.
Even lower. If you're going to teach daw yung beginners, N4 would be enough. Sometimes somebody who has an N4 may not be the best teacher. Depende kasi sa needs ng students. Like an ex-trainee who did the job in Japan, coming home to teach might be a better fit than an academic teacher. Kasi hindi naman niya alam eh. Like example, you're going to teach people how to milk cows. Yan. And you don't even know what a cow is except like watching it from afar. So not even the N1, even if that person took the N1 10 times, I don't think it will help at all. But somebody who did the milking would know better. Even the terms. Kasi I don't think naman in N1 lalabas yung terms na sakunyu and all those stuff that has to do with milking.
Kasi specialized yung
Specialized. Yes.
Yung discipline or yung trabaho. No? So none of us probably would be qualified to teach Japanese for ano ang term niya? Cow caretakers.
Dairy farmers, cow caretakers, or farmers, etc.
Even for like let's say Japanese for caregivers, no, we wouldn't know the various terms for those things. Kaya mas academic yung naituturo naming Japanese. Yung question, do you think there should be a standard qualification to teach Japanese just like LET?
Who's going to certify? My question is who's going to certify? So I think in Japan they do have qualifications, no? You cannot teach Japanese without their equivalent of LET for Japanese, no? So meron talaga silang parang licensure exam to teach Japanese. In the Philippines, we don't have that. And some are required, yung accreditation with TESDA, required nung, ano nga yung TM1? Training methodology.
Meron ba kayo? Ako, I don't have it.
We took the course, we didn't finish the course.
Pasaway the teacher.
Honestly, it's a mismatch of the what we were being taught with the realities. Like or I guess we were just spoiled in UP. Kasi never naman natin, we didn't have to, like, what if your projector is not working?
Yeah.
Problema na ba natin na we'll just change projectors, di ba? Oh. Parang dun sa parang part of it, kailangan alam mo parang i-set up yung sarili mo.
Yeah.
Parang napaisip ka tuloy, bakit? Part pa ba ng trabaho ko na maging technician? So parang yung part na yun na tinuturo, parang there's always a big question mark.
Yung, I remember when we did a training for English teachers, so yung head trainer, ang sinasabi niya na, do not limit yourself to what is taught in the textbooks because language, di ba, English changes. So there are rules written about English, but when you hear actual English speakers, mga matataas yung position, politicians, and so on, they don't follow the rules, no? So, and you cannot question them because they're native speakers. So yun yung problema with standardized tests. Personally, yun yung problema with standardized tests kasi they don't really keep with the times. They don't really keep with the language. So, ang nangyari, after the training, may lumapit. Sabi niya, we understand what you want us to do. You shift our thinking that we have to learn more outside what is written in the textbook. But the reality is we have to pass the let. And the answers, the correct answers may not necessarily be the correct answers. So ang ano lang namin, di just study for the test, pass it, and then continue learning outside. No? So minsan kailangan kasi kailangan mo lang ipasa yung ilang qualifications, but do not limit yourself to those qualifications. No? Even us, nabanggit ko kanina, JLPT isn't really required of us. Like, even if we pass the highest level of JLPT, we didn't get any additional pay or promotion or whatever. But it was our own, parang yung personal development. Diba? Yung parang if you want to teach this, you have to continue learning the language. So not just for the work, but for yourself and for your students. Kasi nga, yun yung being more practical ba tawag doon?
For me, it's loving your profession.
Well, that's another thing, no? Siguro yung
loving what you do.
Yeah, loving what you do. And really exerting effort to do a better job, to do a good job. Yung difference din siguro talaga sa UP, we are freer to explore. Especially with our extramural classes. As long as we teach the common topics, we can explore more topics. Which is not, the setup is not available for all, no? Sadly, pero if you can, yung mga teachers dito, no, if you can add something, yung mga add-ons ninyo to share your own interest in class or even as learners, no, that would be a great motivation also for yourself, for your students. Kasi iba yung naalala ko one time sa beginner class, no? Sabi ko i-present nyo yung anime na gusto nyo. Sobrang sila. Very excited. Yun yata yung class na sobrang excited yung buong klase compared to other meetings. That was pre-pandemic. Siguro as wrap up, any tips or words of encouragement for beginning learners, for continuing learners, for veteran learners?
Advice. I've been learning the language for almost 40 something years, and somehow I can never be satisfied with the level that I have now. Learning is a continuous thing. So learn by picking materials that you like. It doesn't have to be academic all the time. Maybe that's it. Weng.
Yes po. Sa akin po, gusto ko yung yung nakita ko dati sa syllabus ni Ma'am Ria, yung Shoshin no Surube Karasu. Nung nag-start kang mag-decide na aralin yung wika, yung Japanese language for example, huwag mong kalimutan yung pakiramdam mo ng time na yun, yung motivation mo, yung feeling mo na, di ba, sobrang ang taas kasi ng motivation natin nung point na yun. Gaya ng sabi ni Sensei, language learning is really challenging. So, importante na motivated tayo at importante rin na binibigyan din natin siya talaga ng time at effort. Kasi kung gusto talaga nating mag-improve, yun, kailangan natin mag-alat ng ng time natin. Gaya din ng sabi ni Sensei, as much as possible, yun, i-align din natin sa interest natin para hindi maging tedious yung ginagawa natin na learning, no? Tapos, unlike nung time namin na medyo limited yung resources, ngayon marami na kasi talaga. So, gamitin natin talaga sila. Yung sa paraan na nakakatulong sa atin, parang ganun. Yun lang po.
Yun siguro isang nakakalimutan ng mga tao, no? That language learning is not just going to the classroom or attending the class. It's not just opening the textbook or following along. Unlike content subjects, no, let's say well, kahit nga math, di ba, you have to do the exercises. Pero unlike other content courses na maintindihan mo yung concept, somehow you're there. Yung kasi, yung language learning, ang laki talaga ng part ng effort ng student doon. Yung sa akin, nabanggit ko na kanina, no, it's easier to learn when you're relaxed. No? Pag gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. So don't try to strain yourself or don't put too much pressure kasi minsan nagiging negative yung effect ng pressure sa atin. Learning becomes a burden rather than something that is worth doing. And then try to find something relevant for you na parang yung example kanina na oo, you need to pass an exam, but there are also things that you want to pursue through learning Japanese. Yung aim talaga namin for this lecture series is to try to address some common questions that Japanese learners have. We will collate your questions and try to come up with other discussion sessions or lecture series in the future. So yung Facebook page for this project is Nihongo Taku. And then if you have time, please listen to the podcast of Chris and Mike. Medyo mahaba pag yung buo yung pinakinggan. So pag nata-traffic kayo or on the road and so on, nakakatuwa yung dalawa because they have different motivations than the three of us. Compared to the three of us, iba rin yung learning styles nila sa tatlo sa amin. If there are no more questions, I guess we can wrap this session up. Thank you again for attending the session. I hope the discussion served as motivation despite the pasaway, despite knowing that the three of us are pasaway students or pasaway learners of Japanese. I hope the discussion today served as motivation for you to continue learning the Japanese language and to find your place in Japanese language learning. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see you again in our future events.
Yes, good night.
Good night. Otsukare-sama deshita.